Hey guys, hope everyone's day is going well, and today I've got a very exciting video. Today is how to do yo-yo maintenance. So these comments on the screen right there, they requested me to do a yo-yo maintenance video. And since I've never really done a video like this, talking about yo-yo maintenance, I might as well do it, and it seemed like a fun video to do. So let's get on to the video. Well, to be honest guys, I don't really do any yo-yo maintenance, so... Just kidding. But yeah, it is true. I don't really do yo-yo maintenance. I haven't lubed my yo-yo's bearing in probably at least 6 months, which I know is bad. I don't know why. I just haven't been really needing to lube a bearing. They haven't been getting dry. But however, I will still do this video as if I were to do some yo-yo maintenance. So let's get on with it. Okay, so for starters, with lubing the bearing, that's probably the most basic yo-yo maintenance. So when I need to lube the bearing, I know this because sometimes my yo-yo can act a little bit responsive, which means the bearing is getting dry, or other times if it's like really loud all of a sudden, just like shh, and just isn't playing that well, you know that you need to lube your bearing because it's probably pretty dry. So here's how I lube my bearing. I usually just take a quick paper towel, and the key to this yo-yo maintenance really is like less is more. So you really don't want to put on too much lube into the bearing, or else you can really mess it up. So I only really do maybe 2 to 3 drops around the bearing, and that's it. I spin the bearing a few times just with my finger to make sure that it's worked in just a little bit. The way that I work in the lube with my bearing is I do just endless gyroscopic flops. So I just pull it as hard as I can, and I just keep doing that for the next maybe 5 minutes, and that's how I work in the yo-yo's lube. It just works out really well. It really stresses the bearing and just gets all the lube worked into the ball bearings. So that's how I do it really for lubing the bearing. Alright, next up, how I change strings. So first, here's how I know when I need to change a string. So a lot of times it's if it is not very grippy, like my binds aren't that great and they're not coming back to my hand at all. And also I make sure to look at the string and see if it's like really dirty and thin and just like looking gross and stuff because the dirt that gets on the string. In addition, another thing that it tells you when your string needs to be changed is if it's not holding its tension very well. So over time the strings will wear down and it just won't hold tension. You'll get out the tension, do one more throw, and you'll be back to terrible string tension. That's when you know you need to change your string. I usually change my strings maybe once a week for a yo-yo that I use pretty heavily. Not too often, but I do it on a weekly basis just to make sure that my binds are all going to come back to my hand really well and that the string is going to work really well in mine. So to change my string, I usually just spin the yo-yo, take it off, put it in the trash bin. So here's the length that I use for when I am cutting my string. So I usually do it about halfway between my belly button and my pectoral area, kind of the bone right there. That length just works for me. It's short enough that the string is just not everywhere. I can control it very well, but it's also long enough for slack tricks, so that works really well for me. I usually just size it up, tie the knot, and then cut it off. So yeah, that's how I change the string. Alright, so the last piece of maintenance that I usually do is the response pads. Quick disclaimer, response pads don't really need to be changed that frequently. I've only changed my response pads twice. So the first time I had to change my response pads was when they literally fell off the yo-yo. So I was just playing with the yo-yo and the 2 response pads weren't sticking anymore, so they just literally fell off the yo-yo. They were just hanging there, which was pretty funny. But here's how you change your response pads. Basically just buy a pack and remove the sticker from it and then just kind of press it around. Make sure you got a really nice fit. And overall, response pads don't need to be changed that often, only when they're about to fall off, or you can significantly notice that your binds are just not working as well as they should be. The string isn't gripping very tightly. But yeah, response pads, pretty simple to replace. Just remove it like a sticker. And so I know by this point you guys are like, well, Jonathan, what about cleaning your bearing? What about cleaning it down? And I actually never do that. When it comes to bearings, I usually take pretty good care of them. I don't throw them in the dirt or anything like that. I take pretty good care of them, so I never really need to clean it. If I ever did clean it, I think I'd just go to YoTrick's tutorial. I'll link that down below if you guys need to clean your bearing. But I mean, personally, I've never cleaned my bearing at all. And I don't really see the need to if you're taking good care of your bearings. So yeah, that's all. I know you guys were probably curious about that, but to be honest, I don't really clean my bearing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's pretty much all the yo-yo maintenance that I do. It's pretty simple, not too complicated, and I think you guys should be able to do it pretty easily. If you guys have any questions about the maintenance that I do or anything like that, leave it down below in the description, and I'll answer back to you guys as soon as I can. Also, if you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to leave a like down below. That'd be much appreciated. And if you're new here and haven't seen any of my videos before, it'd be awesome if you hit that subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I make a new video. I'm still pretty undecided whether or not I'll be able to upload a video for next Friday, the 11th of August. So I'm not even going to put a poll or anything. I'm just going to decide what I can do, and we'll see what happens. So, alright, thank you guys all so much for watching. That's all for my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. So over time, the strings will wear down, and it just won't hold tension. You'll get out the tension, do one more throw, and you'll be back to terrible string tension. That's when you know you need to change your bearing. That's when you know you need to change your string.